Hey guys and girls, this is just a quick video. Want to share a little experience. So I have two Oscars, as some of you know, that are pushing 12 years old. One of them has spent a week bobbing up and down in this tank, basically floating. Turns out he has swim bladder disease. So he's been quarantined into my 20-gallon top-off tank, which is no longer a top-off tank temporarily. You can see him in there floating, poor guy. If you do research on the net, there's a lot of issues that could cause it. In my case, I'm going to guess it's mostly related to age, but also diet is a huge part. Fish get constipated, especially cichlids. They're mostly meat eaters for the simple fact that you can't keep plants in a cichlid tank, as you can tell by looking into my 300. Yeah, the only plants I have are in my sump for good reason. They would eat anything immediately. So the majority of their diet is pellets, but I also give them frozen shrimp and myosin and mysis shrimp and chopped up frozen fish that I also give them. But the problem with that is it's usually too small for the big fish. And there are a few big fish. It's jaguar, manganese cichlid, a couple of red devils. He likes to sleep in there at night. Go figure. Pretty big Severum. She's pushing 7-8 years old as well. Jack Dempsey's. But they go to the bottom and eat. Oscars don't. Oscars will take something off the top of the water or in the water column. But the problem with obviously the frozen shrimp is all too small for the big Oscar, so he doesn't get any of that. And the frozen fish as well. Once it falls 6 inches, a foot down in this tank, it gets attacked by the 50 fish below him. So he pretty much only ate pellets. So I'm guessing that's between that and his age, that's why he's acquired this problem now. So again, he's quarantined in here. I'm giving him, adding a little bit of Epsom salt to the water. And I'm going to starve him, for lack of a better word, just for a couple of days, and then I'm going to get him to eat something other than pellets. And that is the point of shooting this video. All of you with cichlid tanks, I know pellets is the most convenient, and there are vegetarian pellets, but my fish can't stand them. Only a couple of the fish in this huge tank, believe it or not, will eat them, so most of it ends up in my filter. But take the time, once a week or so, and shell a few frozen peas, which sounds like a pain in the ass, and it is, but when they're just in the middle of defrost and frozen, if you just squeeze them, the pea pops right out of the shell. Because all of that, if you threw them in there without doing that, if they did eat it, which they probably wouldn't, they'd pass all this right through, and all that would end up in your tank, in your filter, in your gravel, for those of you that have gravel tanks, etc. So take the time, shell some peas. They're defrosted now, and my fish love these. Severum especially. She will see me coming with the plate. That's why I've been standing back. And she'll go out of her mind. Watch. Look, Severum. See? She immediately knows what's coming. One of the few things, she's one of the big fish. See, she can't enjoy the frozen shrimp. Occasionally I'll throw it in partially defrosted and she'll grab a chunk of it, but not likely. She gets attacked. But peas, on the other hand, she can enjoy with everybody else. And she loves them. So I'll shut up now and everybody can watch them eat peas. So yeah, final statement. Great for the digestive system. And that's the point of it. And they love them. It even brings the catfish out. He rarely comes out. He lives in this little cave here. See, even her competition with the little fish. See that handful I threw in? Gone. So it's tricky for the big fish to compete for a little food. In a tank like this, anyway. She may have had her fill already. Oh, this goes. And some fish don't care for them. Like the manganese jaguar, he could kill us. What he does, sneaky bastard, is he hunts the baby fish when they're eaten because none of them are paying attention. So he'll hide amongst the rocks and just stick his snout over the top of a rock. So, I made a mess in my tank, but trust me, it clears up in no time. Especially having a lot of babies. They'll clean up all the little pieces. So there you go. I'll do another report on Oscar. Hopefully he's going to get better. After the attempt of the remedy of the salted water and giving him some peas. After a few days of starving him so he'll eat them. The last... It's hard to call it a remedy because it's not really a remedy, but a relief for him is a short of an operation, basically. You take a syringe, a needle, and basically stick him in his swim bladder underwater and keep the needle in, and the air will bubble out of the needle and deflate his swim bladder. So it's not a cure. It's just a remedy. But honestly, he is not miserable at all. I think he may be a little annoyed that he's stuck floating. Like, he could swim to the bottom, even in the 300. He could swim to the bottom if he wanted to. And he would, because believe it or not, some of these little baby cichlids, especially the baby bumblebees, like that little guy, striped coons, they would go right up and nip him in the ass and nip his tail, and it would just startle him, and he would try and swim. And he would hang out in that corner. And he would swim to the bottom, but the minute he would get there, he would bubble right back up to the top and just boop, float there. So, other than that, though, he's not, like, dying. So I'm not going to do the operation unless I absolutely have to. Try the salt bath and try the peas, and I'll see if there's any kind of medication I can give him. I am putting a little Melaflix in there, but that's, you know, general stuff. It's not really geared towards that swim bladder disease. Anyhow, there's my video. I guess we just have to let Big Oscar say hi, even though he's in the dark, because he keeps banging on the glass. That's his brother. For those of you who never met the aggressive bastard. 12-year-old fish. In a tank by himself because he doesn't like company. Alright. See you again, boys and girls.